승부석 2.
But that was like an older style PVT, you know, where the Protoss is always struggling to split correctly and get his Colossi in the right positions. Except this time he has the Mothership Core, as you're saying. You know, it is Legacy of the Void, Heart of the Swarm. Here we go, guys, going into game number 2, KeSPA Station.
최종 과학기지로 떠납니다.
Don't bring forgiveness, and I'm gonna hunt you down.
Welcome to map number 2. KeSPA Station here. Up in the top left, in the purple, the Terran player is TY, taking that first map. New Gettysburg, not an easy feat.
And down here to the bottom right, in green, it is Zest, teammate of TY. Crushed him in that first game with just a back-breaking split of units. Zest will expect and correctly predict the gas first. Will come in here and gain the scout of this, and will also affect the barracks production with just one probe. Very annoying to deal with. And in fact, getting a lot of damage onto the SCV, forcing it to halt building temporarily there. So, you know, TY takes some momentum. This is his map pick. I think it's kind of historically been TY's most successful map throughout history as well. So it's a very comfortable map for him now, and I really believe that if he can make all the right moves like he did in the previous set, he might start to take a really big lead in momentum. I wonder what Zest will decide to do here now in this game. Part of the issue for him in the previous game was his lack of information about what TY was doing. As you said, he didn't really commit to a fast third base as quickly as he could have. He didn't commit to the aggression at all. You know, he just dropped 3 stalkers, which was kind of shut down. Getting information early is so important. We do see him immediately probe scout from the get-go because he's expecting this gas first, and he will be rewarded with that scout. Now he knows exactly what TY is up to, well, at least, you know, some variations of what he could be doing. Quick tech lab here, actually, as well. Not out of the ordinary for TY to be doing this with siege tanks. We'll see if he wants to cycle. I mean, this is not really his style, but I would love to see how good he is at it. If I can get those words out.
Yeah, immediate lift here, and let's see what it is. I think it should be a Cyclone. I mean, this early on, are you going to go for 1 siege tank? Let's see.
Again, if he wants to tank, you know, or if he wants to Cyclone, sometimes you want to have that siege tank first because the Cyclone's faster. But in this case, yeah, I think you're right. Well, I mean, obviously you are. The factory is making it already, but I think what your reasoning is correct. I mean, it's so early. A siege tank with 1 Marine is not going to accomplish anything at all. It will not even be protected. He may go Cyclone, tank, Cyclone. That's something that we could be seeing from him coming up here. And obviously it's very powerful on this map. The resistance is quick.
And here we go again.
Wow.
Just insane greed out of TY in the series.
What if he mechs?
Not a lot of Terrans are making this fast of a 3rd CC nowadays.
I don't think he's going to, but it would be really interesting if he mech'd here. Oh.
Just 1 Cyclone. Switches it back, wants to get his infantry upgrades, it seems.
But you know, this is actually so tricky because for Zest, he sees the quick factory. He's expecting either a Widow Mine drop or a Cyclone push or some sort of siege tank play. But in reality, it's just bio, quick stim, and greedy 3rd bases. So this is a big mind game here for TY. Now, I told you guys why the patrol happens on probes. I can't really explain to you why he's doing this.
He just wants to make it dance, I think. You know, give us a show.
Yeah.
Shake that Cyclone booty.
Guess so. He's doing it. That Marine is like, I'm not even going to look at this.
He's like, I can't watch this. SCV's like, oh, I just got to go through this. I have to do my job.
It's obviously best for the Cyclone to be equidistant from the mineral lines from each other, like be directly in between them, because Warp Prism play, or more likely at this timing, an Oracle flying in, he wants to be able to react to which angle it comes from. So that's why it's in between the bases. The patrol is just, I guess he stylistically likes that. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense. If you remember, this map was always the proxy Oracle map. Like almost, it was like 50% of the time the Protoss would proxy Oracle in one place or another. So if you're going to go greedy 3CC, a Cyclone to shut that down is pretty nice. This is one of the fastest ways to get it up with the gas first.
Okay, 3 Stalkers in the Prism. He's coming across here. Snipe on the Observer. The Observer sees this is greedy, and this is a variation. This is what happened last time. Zest last time didn't have an observer this quick, did not get the information. Now he knows. He has a lot of stalkers coming across the map here, and this Prism will allow him to harass and weaken these units. In fact, almost kills that Marauder. Needs to be careful of the Cyclone, though. It's about to get a lock. Okay, it's too far away anyways.
One free Marine going out for a scout, no doubt. And here we go. Has to get the repair on that bunker. Now gets the target on that Cyclone. Can't get too close.
It's so important for him to keep the Prism alive. I can't overstate how much Prisms counter Cyclones with their pickups.
The Prism, not the Cyclone. Getting the target on the Prism.
Yes.
And it's now looking to possibly go for the main with this War Prism. He does not have Blink.
Gets the target,
on the Prism.
So, you know, the Prism basically will make sure that any unit that is targeted by the Cyclone could just be picked up, and then it'll cancel the target. So they're the lock-on, I should say. So if he kills the Prism, obviously there won't be any war pits either or any elevator tactics. But that's why Zest is microing this Prism so well at the back to prevent that. All right, again, another lock-on here. Picks up that Adept to save it. This is a large Terran army, you know?
Yeah, he's got to be very careful. I mean, you can only, quote-unquote, blink so many times with the Prism, with these Stalkers. The Prism gets full. You got to drop him out again. It's much harder micro. And so he backs off once he sees that stim. Doesn't want to stick around any longer, but at least he has gone for that third base. He is transitioning back at home, but he did commit a lot to these units early on that could have been faster tech. And, you know, this third base, we said it before, it could have also been faster in the last game, could have been faster this time perhaps, but...
I feel like this harass was valuable. He kept the army size low, he picked off a lot of units, he killed a few SCVs. It was not like critical damage, it was not massive damage, but I do feel like Zest is in a good position. His ability to realize like that this is not going to do much more and get a third Nexus definitely works out for him here in this case. Could have been earlier, could have made fewer Stalkers for sure.
I think like one less round would have made me happy. I'm like, yeah, you poke a bit, you're keeping him in his base, you're delaying the third base from moving out, but you have a much faster third, you get your tech out sooner, you know, save that 150 gas for something else. And
all right, two more barracks coming up here, combat shields. I mean, this is the time where TY's army starts to get really powerful. He can start to pressure with this. With +1 coming across too, that'll hit eventually while he's moving across the map to be aggressive. And you know, in the last series, the Prism went down. You know, when he tried to save that, or not the series, the last game, the Prism went down while he was trying to save that Stalker. And in this game, the Prism is still out there, so he has to make defensive maneuvers like this, add a Widow Mine into his mineral line to help defend against Adept run-bys or Stalker drops or whatever comes his way. And that's a little bit scary. And also, keep in mind, Zest killed a few of the army units, so the army isn't as large as it was last game in comparison to Zest's army because he picked off so many Marines and even a few Marauders there.
yeah, I love the pylons this time out of Zest on the left side of the map. He's like, no, I can't get picked apart like I did in that last game. I need to get some vision out there. If I'm not going to use my robotics facility time for observers, I at least have to make pylons. And that's going to be really good. Even sending in a hallucination scout here wants to see the follow-up.
Yeah, does see... actually not, I'm guessing that was a second eBay and the armory. I'm not entirely sure what that was there. Okay, yeah, it is. Scouts that, so knows that he's planning on transitioning into further upgrades. He'll take a fourth base and has that tech advantage we talked about in the previous set. I think TY will have his 5th medevac, the one that's just finishing. It's either his 5th or his 4th. And with that, you know, it's the same amount of medevacs he had last game before transitioning into Vikings versus these Colossi. Yeah, it looks like actually just the 4th with how these are coming across here. +1 armor coming up. It's a very similar situation to last game. Let's see if Zest can defend better this time. The pressure that he comes across with attacking multiple angles, attacking multiple locations. I mean, this 4th base is so far away from his 3rd as well, so if TY attacks 2 different angles, it's going to be tough for these units to come back. He's going to have to be very careful. Okay, this Adept run-by is also going to get shut down. This already has plenty of units back here.
Yeah, I mean, as Zest put down pylons, so did TY put down a supply depot over there, sees it. Coming in, does not kill those 2 Widow Mines. One gets a decent hit there.
3 still active, and this Liberator attack here, 2-pronged.
Go again.
Let's see if Zest can defend this. Now, TY will have to deal with this. It looks like 2 Adepts were able to shade in here. No pylon in position as far as I can tell there in the main. One is kind of nearby, but I don't think it's in overcharge range. He does defend his 4th base. There are still a few Widow Mines out there. No mining in the main currently. 8 probes dead.
Looks like TY wants to take an unexpected route. You know, maybe Zest was expecting an attack towards his 4th base, but now he sees there's not that many units coming in from this angle. Lots of Marines, though, against mostly Blink Stalkers.
He will be able to fight this until the Colossi come over. The Stalkers, like you said, just so strong against almost pure Marines. This Liberator is denying mining, though. 2 Liberators deny so much mining that even though he didn't kill any army, didn't do a massive amount of damage, didn't snipe a Nexus, the value these Liberators got cannot be overstated. And now he's up 12 workers, plus mules, and he has a 4th CC coming up. And this base to the 3 o'clock position is easily harassed by high ground units, more Liberators coming over. And Zest may have been a little bit too greedy, trying to hold a 4th this quickly against what Zest is, what TY is throwing at him. These team kill players mess with my brain a little bit.
Yeah, especially on a map like this, you can definitely be pulled apart. I mean, we saw him almost come in from 4 angles there. And I wonder what the follow-up is here for TY. He gets a nice little advantage in this game. For sure, you can see it in the supplies right now, for sure. And more Liberators being sent out. The Warp Prism actually scouting that, so he should be ready for this Liberator attack.
Yeah, you can see him moving units over there right now. Or no, those are actually just probes coming to the mineral line. Well, he has the potential to be ready for that. He definitely had seen it if he was looking. These Vikings are going to snipe this Prism. Speaking of which, TY definitely noticed this. And remember, this base, he's going to have units up there in general, because if he doesn't have Stalkers here, he can't deal with the Liberator, nor can he deal with Bio on the high ground. TY already has plenty of Vikings and also is transitioning into Ghost. He's got everything going for him in this game. He's up 30 army supply. He's hitting his upgrades. He got that early armory and his 2nd eBay. He even gets plating, which is going to make his Vikings tankier against Stalkers, and also his Medivacs, can last a little bit longer as well.
It's pretty cool, and this is a very sizable army now maxed out, looking to put on some more pressure. We'll see if he wants to keep everything together. Finally, some Stalkers brought out there for the answer to the Liberators. See if he keeps his army together, if he wants to attack from many different locations. I think with the Vikings and the Ghosts here, he just wants to attack the main army at this point.
Well, with this hole over here on the left side, you can do so much with these Vikings on this map. It's very similar to an old map, Zelnaga Caverns, where you have this big gaping hole your Vikings can hover over and retreat with, and that's exactly what we're going to see him. He's going to come from this angle, targeting down these Colossi. Now 1 goes down, going to target a 2nd. The Bio is retreating back to some Widow Mines here. Another Colossus goes down. Liberator's getting more damage done here as well. Zest is again falling apart here in game number 2.
Looks like it just fantastic control here from TY. We'll see if some Storms can do some damage. 1 does go down, but now landing the Vikings and more reinforcements making their way across the map. And look at this, 14 kills, 10 on that 1 Liberator, 4 more somewhere else, and he's easily going to be able to take this fight.
Yep, landing the Vikings is no longer useful for killing Colossi at this point. Once your armor finishes, Vikings don't do that well, but he just doesn't have his whole army together. He's about to, and once he does, he will crush these Stalkers, and that will be game over here in game number 2. Here's that reinforcement.
Some free damage on your way out. Don't forget to take that Widowmine shot with you, and now, I mean, what does Zest have? He's making Immortals. Like, he made 1 Colossus, and that was about it. He switched out. He's like, okay, he should have a high number of Vikings, but that's not the case. There's only 2 in the sky.
He has Storm, right? But he did, I don't know if he ever made a High Templar. He's making 4
he had
right
2,
now.
And he got a decent Storm the last fight, but he definitely needed to make them a little bit early to be prepared for this next push. But he knows he can't. He doesn't have time. He needs to make Archons.
He does have this 1 Colossus here, which is quite powerful, especially with the Archons up at the front. But yeah, you can't Storm again. Last time he hit the Vikings a little bit, but it was not a good enough Storm. Now going to take this fight here. The Vikings still doing damage, even though there's only 2 of them. Already taking away the shields. 3 Liberators are going to siege up, and now he's in range of this Nexus. It feels like Zest is going to die a slow and painful death here.
Looks like it, I think, beginning with the Nexus going down, unless he wants to go for one last hurrah, try to take the fight to save the Nexus. But the army is just too small for him to do it. GG, TY.
2-0. 1 win away from knocking his teammate out of this tournament.
Yeah, we were looking at the Keck TV prediction rates, and it was 80-20 in favor of Zest. Many of you just gave each other a look like,